The eldest daughter runs the house. But her mother is getting lazy. Shi Guifang must have been hurt when she gave birth to the children, so her soul collapsed. It was okay for her to leave little eighth to Yumi. No matter what, she shouldn't have left her whole family to Yumi. What do women live for? And if for housekeeping? If a woman doesn't even want the right to run a household, she is definitely a smelly egg, completely rotten. Yumi did not complain about her mother. On the contrary, she was very willing. When she's a girl, if learns to take care of the children and run the house early, when she has a partner in the future, gets married, and consummates the marriage, she will be a smart new wife and a good wife when she gets up early in the morning. She will never lower her head and sneak out of the corners of her eyes to look at her mother-in-law's face. There is another meaning to Yumi's willingness to do this. Yu Sui, Yu Xiu, Yu Ying, Yu Ye, Yu Miao, and Yu Yang, although they yearly call her sister, they still don't accept her. The second child, Yu Sui, is a bit naive, not talking about her. The key is the third, Yu Xiu. Relying on her intelligence and ability to win over people's hearts, Yu Xiu already has some influence, whether at home or in the village. Another important point is that Yu Xiu has two big eyes with double eyelids, good skin, a beautiful person, and a vixen. She will moan on her father's chest even if her grievance is tiny. Yumi cannot do it, so her father partials her. But it's different now. Yumi takes care of the little eighth and runs the family. It's absolutely impossible to ignore them. If her mother doesn't let go, that's fine. Since the mother has already let go, Yumi is the boss and the eldest. This is the case no matter where you go. The first time Yumi came to power was at the lunch table. Yumi does not have the right to run a household, but power is like this. As long as you hold it in your hand and squeeze it until it sweats, 5 fingers will grow from the power, and it will become a fist when you exert force. Her father went to the commune for a meeting. It was wisely that Yumi chose such an opportunity. Yumi fried her mother's sunflower seeds in the morning and also brought the dishwashing water before lunch. Yumi kept silent, but had a very careful plan in mind. Because of a lot of people in the family, her mother had to keep urging them every time they ate. Otherwise, it would be too procrastinating and difficult to clean up, and it would be inevitably lead to a mess. Yumi decided to imitate her mother, and everything started at the table. When the lunch was almost done, Yumi turned to her mother and said, "Mom, hurry up. I fried the sunflower seeds for you and put them in the cupboard." After Yumi finished explaining, she tapped the edge of the bowl in her hand with her chopsticks and shouted loudly, "Y'all hurry up. I want to do the dishes. Everyone hurry up." Her mother used it to bend the edge of the bowl and talk loudly like this. Yumi's words had an effect, and the sound of eating at the table became really intense. Yu Xiu did not respond. The way she chewed was slower, very proud, and very beautiful. Yumi brought the 7th girl Yu Yang over, took Yu Yang's bowl and chopsticks, and fed her. After 2 mouthfuls, Yumi said, "Yu Xiu, do you want to do the dishes?" Yumi did not raise her head when she said this, and she spoke quite calmly, but it had the power of a threat. Yu Xiu stopped the chewing, looked around, suddenly put down her bowl and said, "Wait until Dad comes back." Yumi did not panic. She finished feeding Yu Yang and started to clean up. Yumi picked up Yu Xiu's rice bowl and poured the rest of Yu Xiu's food into the dog food bowl. Yu Xiu retreated to the door of the west wing and looked at Yumi silently. Yu Xiu is still very proud, but all the sisters can see that the pride on Sister Yu Xiu's face is asymmetrical, and she's definitely not as good looking as before. Yu Xiu didn't fight with Yumi at the dinner table. She just didn't talk to Yumi. Fortunately, Yumi had already guessed Yu Xiu's basic attitude from the speed at which she drank her porridge. Naturally, Yu Xiu was unwilling to give in and started to cause extra problems. She caused trouble with chopsticks and soon started fighting with the fourth girl Yu Ying's chopsticks. Yumi didn't ask, but she knew for sure. If a person starts to have extraneous problems and the general direction is wrong, it means that she is no longer able to do it, is discouraged, and is just crying out for injustice. Although Yu Ying was young, she did not show weakness, but knocked Yu Xiu's chopsticks to the ground. Yumi put down the bowl and chopsticks in her hand, picked up the chopsticks for Yu Xiu, put them in her own bowl, mixed them with porridge to clean, and handed them to Yu Xiu's hand, but whispered and warned Yu Ying. Yu Ying, don't make trouble with your third sister. Yumi called Yu Xiu third sister in front of all the sisters, with a very respectful and polite tone. Yu Xiu was confronted, and her face became beautiful again. Naturally, it was Yu Ying who felt aggrieved. Yumi knew that Yu Ying was wronged, but no one else was to blame. In the stage when the two powers are fighting for balance, the grievance will inevitably fall on other people. Yu Xiu was the first to finish eating. Yumi can see everything with her peripheral vision. The vixen's arrogance was completely gone at this time. Although the vixen is rampant, the vixen has the weakness of the vixen. The vixen is firstly lazy, and secondly, she likes to bully those who are weaker than her. If you obey her on both of these points, she will become extra obedient. All vixens are alike. What Yumi really wants is obedience. If you listen to me once, you will listen to me twice. If you listen to me twice, you will listen to me 3 times. After 3 times, she gets used to it and it becomes natural. So being obedient for the first time is the most important thing. Power arises when others are obedient and is demonstrated by requiring others to be obedient. After knocking Yu Xiu down, Yumi realized that she was starting to run the house, and she felt a little happy when she was doing the dishes. Of course, she would never be overjoyed. It would be bad if things in your heart spread to your face.